helping you save a few dollars.
Who you gonna call?
Costbusters.
And this week's Costbuster is Chloe McLeod, accredited and practicing dietitian and nutritionist at FIVEAA Nutrition Co. Chloe, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Stacey.
Always good to chat to you. And this month is IBS Awareness Month.
It sure is.
What is IBS?
It's an excellent question. IBS stands for Irritable Bowel Syndrome, and it's a condition which is associated with your digestive health and your digestive system. It affects about 20% of Australians. It's characterised by all the things we love to chat about at the dinner table, constipation, diarrhea, altered bowel motions, feeling like you haven't quite finished when you go to the bathroom. All those very, beautiful things to chat about over dinner.
I should say as well, if you've got a question, 8223 0000 is the number to call. Chloe's here until 3:30, so you'll try your best to answer them.
I'll do my best.
She's pretty good. She's pretty good. She can usually answer whatever you've got for her. 8223 0000 is the number to call, and keep listening out as well. I still have a double pass for St Kilda and Richmond on Sunday afternoon at Norwood Oval. When you hear a sound that you would hear at the Norwood Food and Wine Festival, 8223 0055 is the number to call for those tickets. I'll give them away before 4 o'clock. Are you off to anything gather round, Chloe?
Unfortunately not this year. We were a little bit disorganised and suddenly went, hang on, haven't bought any tickets, and so maybe I need to jump in the ring.
They're sold out. I'm not sure we could do that.
No,
I don't know if you could win today's one.
Hello,
it's Zoe here. No, of course not. All right, so we're talking about IBS because it's IBS Awareness Month. Now, you're also an ambassador for the Gut Foundation, so this is totally in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's very fortunate to work alongside the Gut Foundation, and IBS is I'm going to say it's one of my favourite areas to work in, and the reason being is it can be so debilitating for people, having to know where every bathroom is, feel like you're often rushing to get there, and having those really urgent motions, and can be really uncomfortable and debilitating for so many people. But with some quite simple changes to your diet and getting some assistance from your healthcare team, you can actually really change your quality of life, and it can actually be quite life-changing when you've got the condition under control.
Okay, so I'm guessing diet can have an impact.
Yeah, it can have a huge impact. So there's a number of different diet strategies that you can make to manage IBS or incorporate to manage IBS. But about 75% of people will respond really well to dietary intervention.
Mm-hmm. Is it a one-size-fits-all? Are there easy fixes that everyone can use, or is it really an individual thing?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that. It is very, very individualized. So there are certain things that a lot of people will respond really well to. However, it is really important to get some assistance from a healthcare professional, such as a dietitian who's got experience in that space, because it can be quite nuanced, and some of the strategies that we use, we don't want to use long term because of the impact they can have. So to give you an example, some of the most common things that we look at are fibre intake, consumption of things like spicy foods, caffeine, how much fluid someone might be including, if they're doing any physical exercise or not. There's some really sort of universal type things that we'd be looking at. And then outside of that, we start to look at something called the low FODMAP diet. Now, FODMAP is an acronym, and it stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols.
I know why it's called low FODMAP then.
Yeah, there's an acronym there for a reason. You don't need to remember all those sciencey words though. So essentially they're different types of carbohydrates which are naturally found in the foods that we eat, and they can end up fermenting in your gut or not absorbing properly in your gut, and they can then result in those symptoms that I mentioned earlier. So things like the constipation and the diarrhea, bloating, abdominal pain, and so on.
So there'd be some foods that are pretty comprehensively fit into that low FODMAP, but they maybe won't work for everyone with IBS. Is that?
That's exactly right. So some really commonly eaten high FODMAP foods that are also very healthy for you include things like milk, bread, apples, pears, certain things like chickpeas, lentils, other other types of legumes as well. Onion and garlic are really common ones. Broccoli can be one in certain portion sizes as well. Portion size really matters in the FODMAP diet too. So all of the foods that I just mentioned, we all know that those things are really good for us, but it doesn't mean that for someone with IBS that you can't have them. And that's the really nuanced part of this. So the process is, when you work with a dietitian, is working out which things are most likely to be the triggers, and then incorporating them in your diet in certain amounts so that your diet stays really liberalized and really varied, so as less restricted as possible.
So should you ever just cut any food out?
My opinion is no, and there's a couple of reasons for that. A lot of the symptoms of IBS can also mimic symptoms of other conditions, so things like celiac disease and bowel cancer and inflammatory bowel disease. So they're really serious conditions that, if they're not treated, or you continue to eat the foods that you're not supposed to, can have other health implications. Increased risk of other health conditions. Something like bowel cancer, we all know what happens if that's not caught in time. So seeing your GP as a first port of call before starting to remove things from your diet is so important in this space, because if you miss another diagnosis, that can be, quite horrific. So having that assistance from your GP, and then getting a referral from your GP to a dietitian who works specifically in this area. And I'm going to shout out FIVEAA, our team. We all work in this space. It's really important to get that help, because without that assistance, if you're suddenly starting to remove things from your diet without knowing what's causing the problem, it can make it more difficult to figure it out. Or it could actually also mask certain other conditions that might be underlying as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
If any of this sounds like it rings a bell to you, give us a call, 8223 0000. Maybe you've got a question or you've got experience with this. We'd love to hear your story, 8223 0000. We'll be back after this.
AFL Gather Round is rolling back into South Australia this weekend.
And Timmy, we just can't wait to be part of this action, and we'll be live this Thursday night right out the front of the Adelaide Oval from 4 p.m, right before the opening game between the Crows and the Demons.
Then David and I will be live on Friday morning from 6 a.m. from the Macca's Footy Festival in Elder Park, so come on down and be part of the show.
There's a Big Mac for every kind of hungry. Macca's, official partners for AFL Gather Round.
Thirsty Camel!
If you get a dry throat barracking during Gather Round, remember to go the Camels and score Corona or Carlton Draft 24-pack just $59.99 each with a bonus $3 Camel Cash on your loyalty card. Wild Turkey Original Cola Cans limited edition 12-pack $53.99. Plus Jack Daniel's Black Label 1 litre $75.99 with $4 Camel Cash. Go the Camels at any of our Thirsty Camel bottle shops. Why so serious? Drink responsibly.
Even camels get thirsty.
Are you ready to take control of your My Aged Care or NDIS funding? At Care Alert, we believe you should be in charge of your safety 24/7. Introducing Care Alert, your ultimate guardian with fall detection and GPS location. You can even speak through the pendant. Wherever you are, we've got you covered. And here's the best part, it could be yours for free. Secure your peace of mind today. Call 1300 75 85 95 or visit carealert.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
If your current job is driving you bonkers, get outdoors and hit the road. ACET Transport Solutions is growing, and they need more drivers to keep their promise of perfect service. So, if you want a career that'll take you places, get in touch with the team at ACET Transport Solutions. Visit acettransport.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Harvey Norman, your sleep experts. Massive floor stock clearance on mattresses and adjustable bed bases. 4 big brands: Sealy, AH Beard, Sleepmaker and Tempur. Firm to ultra plush feels, single to super king sizes, and adjustable bed bases priced to clear. Want to enhance your sleep? Tailor your sleep position for the ultimate comfort while in bed, with adjustable bed bases starting from a low $999. Speak to a sleep expert at your local Harvey Norman store today. Massive floor stock clearance on mattresses and adjustable bed bases must end Monday.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan. There's never any roadworks when you're driving Aussie made, and you'll always find a park that's nestled safely in the shade. The magpies will stop swooping, the kangaroos give way. You won't see a single mosquito at the end of each perfect day. And if the cuppers pull you over, they won't wreck your plans when you tell them you bought Aussie made from Dave Benson Caravans.
Hi, I'm Jo. I'm a registered nurse and I work with St Louis Home Care as a clinical care coordinator.
St Louis was started by my great-grandmother and is one big happy family with lovely staff just like Jo.
The people that work for St Louis are very loving and caring.
Whether it's personal care, preparing meals, shopping, home maintenance or social activities, we help people stay at home for longer.
If you're interested, come and join us.
Google St Louis Home Care today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Good afternoon. Still live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. So jump on and say hi. And you still have a chance this hour to win a double pass to St Kilda and Richmond at Norwood Oval on Sunday afternoon. If you want to go to that game, this is the only way you'll be able to get there because tickets are sold out. They sold out in record time. These are money can't buy tickets and you could be winning a double pass. All you have to do is call me on 8223 0055 when you hear a sound that you might hear at the Norwood Food and Wine Festival. When you hear that sound, give me a call, tell me what it is, and the tickets are yours. It's that easy. But we are in the middle of Costbusters today, and Chloe McLeod is a dietitian and nutritionist at Verde Nutrition Co. And we're talking about IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, because it's IBS Awareness Month. Thanks for coming in, Chloe.
Always a pleasure, Stacey.
So I wanted to ask you, is there like a test you can do if someone out there is listening thinking, oh yeah, I have a couple of those symptoms and kind of always feel a bit bloated, or maybe going to the bathroom is not normal for me, or it doesn't sound like it's normal. Is there a test that you can do to identify IBS?
It's a really good question. So the best thing you can do is go and see your GP because often IBS is diagnosed as a result of ruling out a bunch of other things. So it's not necessarily going and getting a blood test or something like that, which will then tell you that you have IBS. So go see your GP. There are certain breath tests and things that you can do to check for how your body is digesting some of those FODMAP foods that we spoke about before. But to be honest, I don't actually really use them ever. The reason being is they can be quite pricey. And you can generally get the outcome from doing a food-based challenge just doing a short elimination and then a food challenge using quite specific foods that are rich in certain FODMAPs. So I think it's much simpler to just do it using that method I just described rather than the expense and time it takes to do those breath tests.
Okay, so that would be what, like cutting out certain foods for a certain period of time and then seeing how you feel or reintroducing them?
Yeah, so both. So what we usually do, and I really encourage if anyone wants to do this, go and get a dietitian to help you with the process. So it's done as a quite strict process or protocol. But we remove, so do a restriction phase and then do a challenge phase where we use certain foods that are rich in one type of FODMAP at a time to test which types of FODMAPs you might be sensitive to, because not everybody is sensitive to all of them. Sometimes it's one or two, some people it is all of them. Sometimes it's not FODMAPs, sometimes it's, chili or really rich foods or caffeine can all have really strong impacts for certain people as well. The other thing I haven't mentioned is stress. So, we live in a world that, we're always busy, there's always things happening, and there's this really strong bidirectional relationship between your gut and your brain. And when you're feeling really stressed and anxious, sometimes you'll notice that in your gut. So, if you're feeling a bit nervous and you feel those butterflies in your stomach, that's your stomach telling you, or your gut telling you, oh yeah, I'm feeling a bit nervous. But also a lot of IBS symptoms can be significantly worsened when you're feeling stressed and anxious, or even depressed for some people. So important to be mindful of that psychological link that there is, and sometimes it's actually not food related at all. It's actually more related to what's going on psychologically, and then working on how you might manage that with a psychologist or counsellor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about some foods that are maybe good for your gut health? Is there, obviously there's no, one size fits all and no quick fix if you do have some gut problems, but are there foods that are just generally pretty good?
Yeah, so I love this question, and I think even though I have called out certain foods which are high FODMAP earlier in our chat today, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad for you or that you can never have them. It all comes down to frequency and portion size. And when it comes to the health of your gut, the best thing that you can do for your gut health is eat a diverse array of plants. So the research is really, really clear that having at least 30 different plants across the week is the best thing you can do to promote a healthy gut. Now, that's not just fruits and veggies. That's your whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices as well. So incorporating a really diverse mix of all of those is really important. And I like to just get my notes app out and I start to count them, what I've had for the week in that, just to, I don't do it all the time, but just every now and then, just to make sure I'm staying on track.
And we identified last time you mentioned that unfortunately for people like me who eat, broccoli twice a week, that only counts as one, doesn't it?
It does only count as one.
Yeah, okay.
But, you can always maybe add in something like some cauliflower, some kale. Just I like to suggest, when you go into your Foodland, have a look at what's on special, what's seasonal, and choose those things because they'll be that lower cost option, and they're likely to be a bit fresher as well because they're in abundance because they're in season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about kimchi? I don't really know much about it or eat a lot of it, but I just see. Am I just buying the online spin that it's good for you?
No, it's great. Kimchi is amazing. So it's been fermented. So as a result of that, there ends up being healthy bacteria within the kimchi, and there's often usually some other spices and things that are included in it as well. Similar to sauerkraut. So they're just the kimchi is more like the Korean version, whereas sauerkraut's more like your German or European version.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about Yakults?
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah, so they're a little fermented milk drink. They originated from Japan. They've got a particular strain of probiotic in them which can help with supporting your immune health. So they can be a really cool thing to incorporate as well.
Yeah, okay. And fermentation is something that's been mentioned a couple of times.
Yeah.
There. What is that and why is it good for your gut?
Love this question. So fermentation occurs from a food perspective. There's two different lots of fermentation that I've been talking about today. We've got food fermentation and then in a container, I suppose, where healthy bacteria end up being produced. So that would be in something like your kimchi, your Yakult, or something like yogurt. And these are really fantastic foods for you. They help to add extra probiotics into your gut, which are really nice for your gut health, which is lovely. The other fermentation that I mentioned happens within your gut, and people with IBS can sometimes find that quite uncomfortable because as the food ferments within your gut, due to the bacteria that are there, that can sometimes trigger some of those symptoms that I spoke about earlier because of the gas that's produced.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's why some fermented food might be good.
Exactly. So incorporating those fermented foods, it helps to add more diverse different bacteria into your gut. It can help with soothing things down. For some people it can, something like yogurt or the kefir, which is a fermented milk drink, or the Yakult that you mentioned. They can be really nice and gentle for some people.
There you go. Well, it's been very interesting to learn today. Chloe, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's Chloe McLeod, nutritionist and dietitian with FIVEAA Nutrition Co. It's time for your 3:30 news headlines, and after that we've got lots of people travelling into Adelaide at the moment for Gather Round. We're going to head to the Canalpin road stop and see what's happening there, because usually there might not be a whole lot happening at Canalpin, but today it is all a buzz. We'll tell you exactly what's happening, and keep listening out for your chance to win those tickets. When you hear something that you might hear at the Norwood Food and Wine Festival, give me a call, 8223 0055, if you want to win a double pass to Saints and Tigers on Sunday afternoon at Norwood Oval.
Gather Round is here and Adelaide is buzzing.
What a start to Gather Round.
The Crows have not looked great so far this season.
It's gone from bad to worse for the Adelaide Football Club.
But the Demons are back to their dazzling best.
Wonderful finish by Neil Bullen.
This evening on 5AA, the footy world has gathered at Adelaide Oval for the Crows and the D's.
Well, this is much better from the home side.
AFL Live on 5AA.
The crowd lifting.
Always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. Since March 2020, the value of an average home in Adelaide South has grown by $288K, in the north $243K, and in the west by $273K. And the median price in central Adelaide and the hills has soared by $358K. From Westbourne Park to Windvale, from Kensington Park to Kilkenny, we've led the charge with 52 suburb records, more than any other agency in South Australia. Go to toop.com.au to find out more.
Whoa, looks like someone's been shopping.
Oh, yeah.
So many bags. What do we got? Good Guys, Baby Bunting, Amarini. Where'd you go for all this? What's in here?
Just popped out to my new fave, Jeps Cross Home HQ. That place literally has it all.
Parascalf Home, Woody Winks, Skechers, Subway and Naan Tandoori, huh?
A girl's gotta eat.
All this from Jeps Cross Home HQ. They actually have everything. Did you, get something for me?
Mm-hmm. Anaconda bag under your foot.
Oh, nice.
Hi, it's Wayne from Wayne Phillips Kia. If you're in the market for a new car, you can't go past Kia at SA's #1 Kia dealership, Wayne Phillips Kia. We've got a huge range on display now with electric vehicles including the high-performance EV6 and the just-released EV9, a simply amazing large SUV. If you already own a Kia, book it in for service into our new state-of-the-art service centre at Lonsdale. Mention this ad and you'll get a free car wash with your service. At SA's #1 Kia dealership for the past 8 years, Wayne Phillips Kia, Main South Road, Ranella.
Wella. Everybody's gonna buy Hoyt spices. Everyone's gonna save $1 or $2. Everybody's gonna buy Hoyt spices, yeah. Well, don't throw away those empty spice jars. Wash and dry and they'll go far. Fill the jar with your Hoyt spice pack. There's no turning back.
Hoyt Spices, available in sachet packs from Coles, Woolworths and all good independent supermarkets.
Hoyt Spices, yeah.
Thinking about a solar battery? Don't wait. Connect with NRG Solar and bring home a solar battery with a rock-solid 10-year warranty. Use the energy you generate during the day. Store some for later, reducing reliance on energy providers and putting money back in your pocket. See NRG Solar in their new premises at St Mary's. Bigger place, better space, some amazing people. Visit NRG Solar now at 1275 South Road or call 1300 858 160.
Struggling with your CPAP therapy? Try the world's first auto-fitting mask from Fisher & Paykel Healthcare. Respirocare Healthcare is offering the Fisher & Paykel Sleep Style device for 30% off, plus a free solo mask valued at $310. Visit one of 6 Respirocare clinics and mention this ad to redeem this offer. Respirocare Healthcare, proudly serving South Australia for 20 years. When considering whether CPAP is right for you, speak to your doctor. Always follow the directions for use.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide. Always live. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The air highway at Yallata will likely remain closed until tomorrow. It follows a head-on smash involving 2 trucks just before 7 this morning. It's a hive of activity at Elder Park as footy fans get into the gather-round activities on offer. A Paralawi grandmother is now a multi-millionaire thanks to Keno. And in sport, Port will reveal their round 4 side tonight, but have already confirmed Mitch Georgiades will return for the clash against Essendon. The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny this afternoon, sunny tomorrow 24. Right now it's 20. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
Thanks for that, Mel. It is 29 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, and we are going to talk about what is going on the roads at the moment, because there's a lot of people travelling into Adelaide for Gather Round this weekend. We've got a text here, 0448 08 1395 is the number if you want to send me a text. Rosemary in New South Wales, she says, I hope the Canalpin waffle shop is working flat out. I always stop there when I drive through. Oh, you're making me hungry, Rosemary. The idea of stopping and getting a waffle sounds great. Also, someone sent us a text. Jason, if you're listening, you've sent us a text and I don't think it's meant for us. It starts with Hi Lyndall. I won't read out the whole text, but Jason, you might need to check your numbers. You might need to actually get in touch with Lyndall, because we've got the number that's meant for Lyndall there. All right, now don't forget, I still have a double pass to give away to the St Kilda and Richmond game. It's on at Norwood Oval this Sunday afternoon, and it's sold out. It's one of those games that sold out so quickly when Gather Round tickets went up for sale. So this is the only way you can get them. I've got one more double pass to give away today. I'll give it away before 4 o'clock, and I've got more opportunities tomorrow, but then that's it. There is no other way you can get these tickets, so you don't want to miss them, trust me. While you're in Norwood, if you're going to the game, make sure you check out the Norwood Food and Wine Festival, because it's back this year. You can go and try the state's best wines, beers, spirits producers. The Temper Trap will be playing. You've got heaps of food stalls, heaps of food producers there. And I don't know, maybe this might be a little hint. Lots of drinks, lots of cocktails on offer, perhaps. Hint, hint. 27 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. As I mentioned, there are so many people travelling into Adelaide at the moment, and lots of them are coming over the border. If they're doing so, they might be coming through Canalpin, which is where we find Senior Sergeant Susan O'Connor with SA Police. She joins you now. Hi, Senior Sergeant. Thanks for your time.
No worries at all, Stacey. Lee, thanks for having me.
Tell me, where are you?
We are currently in the reserve next to the grain silos at Canalpin, where the artwork is, and we've got a road safety activation happening here today.
All right, and what does it look like?
It's been quite busy. It's been busy all day, probably since about lunchtime. It's really kicked off with people stopping and coming through, and all the excitement around Gather Round. We have a lot of people playing football in the park and just having a great day travelling through to Adelaide.
And obviously there's a lot happening there. What have you got on?
Yeah, so we've got a road safety activation. We've got some handball competitions and giveaways and promo items for everyone, every age group here. We've got something that can cater for you. And we're doing that in partnership with the Coorong Cats. They've got a barbecue stall set up here offering food and drinks. So I guess everyone's refreshment stop's covered here at this location. They want to call in and say hi.
And why is that a good spot?
It's a good stop because it's a couple of hours out of Adelaide, and I guess the main message we're trying to promote by doing this activation is that we're trying to encourage everyone to stop every 2 hours and at least have a 15-minute break. Fatigue is still a major cause of serious injury, crashes and fatalities on our roads, and with such a great weekend about to occur in Adelaide, we just want everyone to get there safely, and then on the return trip Monday to do the same, going back to their respective homes.
So you'll be there Monday as well?
Yeah, we're here till 5 o'clock today, and we'll be here on Monday between 9 and 2 to, again, encourage people to stop, have a kick of the footy, come and see us, have a chat about road safety, get some food, and just enjoy travelling through the state.
And those Canalpin silos as well, the murals on there, it's just beautiful.
Oh, it's a stunning location here, so it is a good spot for people to stop. There's restroom facilities, there's, space to park the car, get out, stretch the legs. We've had some, great conversations with interstate people travelling through today who are really excited about coming to the footy and getting there safely.
Yeah, awesome. And how's everyone been?
Yeah, everyone's been great. So we've been really lucky. Like I said, we've got the Coorong Cats here serving their mullet sandwiches today. So there's been fresh mullet caught this morning, which has been great. That's been a massive hit. We've had support from the SANFL and also Think Road Safety. So we've got some great giveaways for everyone who stops in and says hi.
What does a mullet sandwich taste like, Susan?
It tastes really good, seeing it's very fresh and was caught at 3 a.m. this morning. So it's been definitely a hit with everyone who's called in.
Yum, you're making me hungry.
It's been great. It's a great place to stop today.
What about the waffles? Rosemary said that there's a waffle shop at Canalpin. Have you been there?
There is. Canalpin are famous for their waffles, and she did pop over, the lady who owns the waffle shop, and was chatting to the Coorong Cats about their mullet sandwiches. So there might have been a bit of a trade-off there, but yes, they are famous for their bakery and also their waffles.
I see like a joint venture coming on, maybe some mullet waffles or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I think they're pretty good separate, and I will take that. I don't know about a combined version, but it's been a really good day here, and lots of people just coming across.
Yeah, good. I think
driving safely and having a great weekend.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think we're expecting 25,000 people from Victoria, so there'll be a lot of them.
There has been a lot coming through today, and it's still even now a steady stream of people coming through. So it's great. No issues so far, and everyone's abiding by our road rules and stopping in and saying hi.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much for your time, and
no worries.
Save me a mullet sandwich, maybe.
Will do. Thanks very much for having me.
See ya. That's Senior Sergeant Susan O'Connor from South Australia Police. The man in charge of the mullet sandwiches is Michael Kemp. He's the president of the Coorong Cats. Michael, how's it going?
It's been a busy day.
Yeah.
The mullet sandwiches have been a hot item, and that's been great.
I've got to know, what's on a mullet sandwich? Tell me everything about it.
Well, we don't really complicate it. We don't. We just ensure the fish is fresh and cooked on the barbecue, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of tartare or mayonnaise to your choice, and keep it pretty simple between a couple of pieces of bread. So it's delicious.
Chef's kiss. Sounds amazing. So the barbecue's your job?
Yep, that's correct. So the Coorong Cats, which is the local football club between Canalpin, Meningie and Tintinara. We've been cooking the barbecue here today. And like I said, we've had the mullet. We've also had some snags and hamburgers as well. So it's been a great day.
All right. And what's it been like today? How many people have you had through compared to how many you'd usually have coming through Canalpin on any normal Thursday?
Yeah, so it's there's been a significant increase in traffic. There has. Obviously, living locally, we see it daily, the highway, and it's been significantly busier. It has all day, so it's been great, and great to partner with SAPOL on the road safety section and ensuring that everyone's getting to Adelaide safely.
All right, so we just heard from Susan that people are getting out and having a kick of the footy. Any other activities that are going on?
Yep. So, like Sue said, there's the footy going on, and we're right next to the silos here in Canalpin. So there's silo art there that everyone's taking some pics of, and I think Sue mentioned also the waffle shop and the bakery nearby as well. So there's lots of activities going on here.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like fun. And you'll be there, till 5 o'clock today and then Monday as well?
Yep, that is correct. So we'll be here bright and early on Monday, trying to offer our cuisine to the travellers heading back to Victoria and back into the lower southeast. So we'll be here from 9 o'clock on Monday morning. We also encourage people to stop in and say good day.
Yeah, sounds good. And now tell me briefly about the Coorong Cats. So it's not just a footy club. You do have netball Coorong Cats team as well?
Yep, that's correct. So we're a newly formed club. We've just recently amalgamated. And like I said earlier, it's the combination of the townships of Meningie, Tintinara and Canalpin. And obviously, like a lot of regional clubs, it's a football and netball club. So we've obviously got our volunteers today from both the footy and netball side of things. So it's a great little community club and great little place.
Yeah, and obviously you share resources between the footy club and the netball club as well.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We work closely together, and all of our sponsors are supporting both the football and netball, and it's a great place for all our kids and the community in general. It's an important place in a regional town to have a thriving club, and we're lucky to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, thanks for your time this afternoon, Michael, and I really need to get down there and try a mullet sandwich at some point because it's really making me hungry.
Well, we have them at every home game of football that we have down here, so if you can't make it on Monday, you'll have to come down to a game and get one.
Do you just put it on white bread, like plain white bread, or is there something fancy about the bread?
No, just plain white bread.
I love it.
So, yeah, it's just the key is to the fresh fish, I think, which Sue mentioned was caught last night. And I've got to give a shout-out to our local fisherman, Ben, who supplies it to us. So he's been up all night trying to catch the fish for us today. So.
Ben, what a legend. We all owe Ben.
We appreciate his efforts. He actually had 2 nights of catching it. He did. He started the previous night to supply us with enough. He had 2 full nights of fishing. So big thanks to Ben.
Big shout out to Ben. He deserves it. Thanks so much, Ben. Feeding everyone the mullet sandwiches on their way over the border. I love it.
No, that's exactly right.
Awesome, Michael. Thanks for your time.
All right. Thank you very much.
See ya. That's Michael Kemp, the president of the Coorong Cats Netball and Footy Club. If you're heading over the border from Victoria, give us a call. 8223 0000. I'd love to hear from you. If you've ever been through Canalpin and you've had a mullet sandwich, I also want to hear from you. 8223 0000. Or maybe you're like Rosemary on the text line and you've been to the waffle shop. Give me your review. I love talking about food. I'll probably get in trouble for talking about it too much, but hey, let's give it a go. 8223 0000 is the number to call to join the conversation on anything we've been talking about here on the program today. We started with a sort of breaking news this afternoon that the Glenelg Rehabilitation Centre, the drug and alcohol rehab facility in Glenelg, it's 12 beds. It's going to be run by Uniting Communities. That got the final tick of approval today. The Planning Minister, Nick Champion, signed off on that. So that's now going ahead 100%. There was a court case and there was an appeal by local residents. It went to court, but today's decision by the Planning Minister means that it will be going ahead, and the Health Minister, Chris Picton, was on earlier saying it will be up and running within weeks. So maybe you've got some thoughts on that. We were also talking about the Jetty Road upgrade, $40 million upgrade to Jetty Road that works will start later this year. Also